Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is also podcast Summer House Edition, the season 10 reunion. Tell me why I'm so dumb. And I was like, oh my God, the whole season's gone because I was looking for season 11 of Summer House because Vanderpump Rules was 11. I can't. I'm exhausted.
It's hard to remember the scandals now because I'm also getting confused with, like, Vanderpump Rules had an extra season that just, like, didn't really fit after the scandal. And then we got a whole new cast in season 12, but, like, this is in season 10. And
yeah, so I had a heart attack. You were about to get a text from me that was like, you have to screen record. Peacock deleted the whole season. And I was like, I'm so dumb.
That happened to me with The Valley, though, on Peacock. I could not get it on my computer, but I could get it on my TV. And I'm like, Weird. What the fuck? Give me my TV shows when I want on Peacock.
I thought it was because I was Canada. I was like, Canada censored a whole season for me. But it's fine. It's going to be an episode. This reunion, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted from it.
Before we really get into it, I saw somebody say that this one hits so much harder because this is something that's happening now, not 9 months ago. Like, we are really diving into the present drama, and, like, that's really fun, that cycle for us to get.
Yeah, I think it's by the time the Vanderpump Rules reunion was, Ariana already hated them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I feel like Sierra is still hurt. I think she hates them, but I think it's a different kind of hate. Like, Ariana was so hate calm. Done. Yeah. Now it's like, I hate you and you hurt me, but I can't give you that. Like, it's so neat.
And we haven't had a million podcasts. Like, we haven't had the media circus that was Vanderpump Rules.
They haven't been able to.
Yeah, we've been waiting for them to really speak. Like, we've had little snippets, and it's like, teased us in a good way, but they've really held back, and I appreciate it.
Speaking of those, shout out to Sonic, who gave Sierra and Ariana a nice little commercial. Good for them.
There were a lot of commercials.
They got a lot of Sonic commercials, and I love that.
Even more than Sonic. Like, there were a lot.
The both of them?
Mm-hmm. It's different. Media sales are different. Streaming versus, like, the DirecTVs, the Charter, like, live TV is different. And then also it will be different whenever you watch it on Peacock after, because they're all different entities. So the commercials, I watched it on a, like, cable network, and the commercials were really good.
I can't remember. I watched it on Peacock and live, and I only remember the two of them doing different Sonic commercials. I don't remember what else the two of them did.
One for, like, Scary Movie, and that one was really good because it was, like, Sierra in a bed with some of the actors, and they were, like, telling a scary story.
But Ariana wasn't there.
No, but, like, Sierra.
Oh, I meant the both of them.
Oh, gotcha.
I was like the Sonic, and I like that the two of them and their scandals have come together to make Sonic commercials. I find that fun.
I like that they're doing multiple of them, so it's not just, like, the same commercial that's... Because they can get boring, let's be honest.
I still won't go to Sonic.
I love Sonic. I'm actually so upset that there's not one closer to my apartment. I love Sonic. Happy Hour hits.
You and I are quite different.
Oh my God, that was the thing in college. We would go there all the time.
Okay, but before we get into the episode, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon. All the links are in our description, and please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Oh my God, I cannot speak. I just need to get into this commercial, or this whole fucking episode, I guess, and not
do it.
Focus on the commercial. Okay, so we open up the reunion episode on March 31st, 2026. We're doing In the City confessionals, and it's Lindsay, and then, like, we get a knock on the door. It's Kyle. He walks in. He's like, hey, you should check your phone. And the two of them read Amanda and Wes's statement out loud. Almost immediately, Jesse Solomon calls. He's like, this is the first time I'm hearing it's confirmed. Mia gets added in on the call. Kyle says he talked to Amanda last night and Wes texted an hour ago, but this is so fucked up. Kyle considered himself very close to Wes because he went to the farm and Toronto with him.
It is crazy that the two people screwed over in this have both visited Wes' family home.
His fucking farm. And Amanda probably hasn't.
No.
Carl calls it Kyle, so they have a conference of all these people.
That makes me feel like the divorced parents one where like people like call one of the parents and it's like, wait, no, Leslie called me, and it's like, well, you're talking to Jim. Like
So Carl is sick. And he clocked inappropriate touching because you just don't touch a woman who is married like that. And then Jesse's like, yeah, you also don't fuck your friend's wife of 10 years while they're still together.
This is crazy. To be on that phone call would be electric.
Oh, I love.
Fucking God in this city spinoff was greenlit and filming at this point. Incredible.
You know, it'd be fun if you were one of like the producers or the PAs on In the City and you're just sitting there listening. And you're like, it doesn't even affect me. I just get to listen to this.
I mean, it kind of does because that's your cast members too. You're like, whoa.
Not if you're in the city.
No,
I mean, kind of.
They're on that show. Like, you're like, this is going to blow this up even more.
Incredible. Yeah, but like, the cast is like, oh no. The PA is like, this is awesome. I can't wait.
Holy shit. Do we have reality
We have a
TV
hit.
gold?
We have a hit. They're like, everyone's getting this. The sound is on. We need to make sure to put this in.
Like, are we rolling? Thank God they're rolling. Like, I just think about the perfect timing for something like this to happen. Because yes, in theory, you could manufacture this. And do I think Kyle and Lindsay would sit down on this couch and have this type of conversation? Yes. But you would not get the phone calls, patching in 3 different people. Like, amazing.
In the City is like, make sure Mia signs a waiver and Jesse, because they're not signed. Carl, we need waivers for all of them immediately.
We're gonna get
We own the phone call.
Yeah.
Okay, has anyone talked to Sierra? Mia's like, she's hurting. I'm thinking about flying back from California to check on her, but I'm texting her. And Carl's like, someone needs to go check in on her. And Carl is upset. He is so upset about the lies and the deceit. It's disgusting. They're like, when did this start? I guess Amanda to Kyle was trying to play it off like it's only been happening for a month. Mia says that's bullshit. At minimum, it's the second week of January.
I love immediately putting a date to it. Like, no.
Yeah, and Kyle's like, there are blinds going back to June of 2025. Like, this is insane. So, a month later, or almost a month later, we get to April 23rd, 2026. It is reunion day. It's 6:27 a.m. Everyone's starting to show up. Lindsay's wearing red, the devil you don't want to know. At 7:10, Amanda and Wes show up. I will say, Wes is the only one that doesn't say thank you to the drivers. Everyone else gets out of the car and says, thank you, thanks, man, thank you. Even if it's, like, not meaningful. Lindsay, Amanda, Kyle.
No, I think it is all meaningful.
Well, yeah, even if it's just like a thank you, like, you're not thinking about it, but you should do it. Wes just got out of the car.
In who you are.
I noticed that. Ben and Bailey, we didn't get them, like, with sound. They just walked in. But, yeah, everyone else... Even Amanda.
Wow, interesting.
And Wes and Amanda are sharing a dressing room. So it's Kyle, Ben, KJ, and Carl, the boys. And then it's like Lindsay and Bailey, and I'm assuming Levi's in there too. And then I think Sierra and Mia have their thing. And then Amanda and Wes.
I cannot imagine walking in there and seeing those dressing rooms. Like, that would help hit it home because it still feels so surreal to me as a viewer.
Yeah.
Seeing their names next to each other is so odd.
Who's the intern that was like, let's pair them together?
You have
their names on the room.
They're the enemies compared to the rest of the cast.
And they're dating. They can change in front of each other. Enjoy that. Carl and KJ chat in the boys' room. Carl's like, this is unlike anything we've ever experienced. And then they talk about the baseball game, which happened April 17th, 2026. So like a week before this. And it was the baseball game where Wes and Amanda kissed the same day as Sierra's cover. And both KJ and Carl like, that's so embarrassing.
I love them pointing that out because I agree. I think they are doing things to be out there just in general. And then when you see what's happening with Sierra and you don't course correct, even if that wasn't your plan, like I do, like obviously Wes was going to this game no matter what, but it's fine if Amanda and Wes go to this, but like, why are you making out on national television? Like, why are you twisting the knife?
You know what I kind of think it is? And I mean, I want everyone to know, I have a new like thought every 5 minutes. So who knows where my mind goes. But like, I feel like they were trying to get the viewers used to their relationship, you know, before the rest of the season, before the reunion, so that maybe we would be like, oh yeah, it's not weird. You know what I mean?
But then you have her saying, like, act like you like me. Like, that doesn't help.
They're
bad at doing it. They're bad at acting it. They're bad at, like, showing it. Like, I don't believe in them. Because of the scandal, but then whenever I see them, I don't get it. Like, I believed in Sandoval and Raquel more. Like, I saw their attraction to each other while season 10 was playing out.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're good at it. I'm just saying I feel like they're trying to get us used to it. So then there's not as much backlash and they don't have to like run away to Rome. You know what I mean?
They have such bad ideas. They have bad execution and bad ideas.
That. And KJ was actually supposed to go to that game with Wes, but he's not friends with him anymore. So he said, I'm not going.
Maybe that's why Amanda went, because they had an extra
the free ticket.
Yeah.
Amanda and Wes kiss goodmorning. Amanda's like, I don't know if I can't breathe because my corset is too tight or because I'm anxious.
Girl.
And Wes is like, probably both. I'm zen, though.
I don't get them. Like, the way she's like, I wonder why I can't breathe. Because you just fucked your whole life up.
Dude, like, the fact that even Raquel was showing more remorse than them in her fucking trailer waiting to go on.
That girlie was anxious, as she should be.
Yeah, I do think, okay, I saw someone say this and I was like, oh, that does make sense. Amanda's on meds for her depression and anxiety.
100%.
Which does, like, bring your mood more, like, it stabilizes your mood. I don't know a ton on this and everyone's body reacts differently, but I do think that helps as far as like holding her emotions back together. Like, I'd be a mess, but I'm not on medication.
I think on a like physical body level, yes. However, we know how to emote emotions as well, like on our face and in our energy. And she has zero of that either. Like, she is giving, I don't give two fucks. I'm here to check a box.
Yeah. So Andy checks on Sierra. Sierra's had better days. She's already kind of emotional. She just feels betrayed by Amanda. She's shocked by Wes, but hurt by Amanda. And her main question is why? My main question is, what was the conversation when y'all sat down to discuss? That is, it never gets answered.
Why, when, like, I want to know those.
I don't give a fuck about why. I want to know how. You sit down and go, we're in love. How do we proceed forward?
Ooh.
So then the boys' room, they talk about a dick pic going around of Wes, which I've seen these, the 3 dick pics. I've seen
Did you see all 3 of them?
Yeah, it was when my friend showed it to me, it was in a collage. So
oh my God.
There were 2 and then one long one.
Whose Canva account has these dick pics in
Hilarious. Yeah, Jesse and Kyle got them, and Kyle's like, how many dick pics do you need to send for it to get to me? And it is flaccid. Can confirm, very...
All 3 of them?
Tiny. Yeah, they're all... It's the same. It's the same moment. The background's the same. Everything's the same. And it's here to describe. He's facing a mirror, so his phone is, like, up by his face, and then he's holding his flaccid dick in this body-length mirror. Yeah.
Oh my God, because he has talked about it on his podcast, so I saw that clip going around where he was like, oh, I was taking just a shot of me, like progress shot of your body. So I just assumed he was standing there naked, just took a shot. Him holding his dick is crazy.
At least one of them had his dick held, and I was like, that's not great if you're flaccid to do that. And also, you're doing a before and after naked. Who are you sending that to? Your trainer?
Well, maybe just for our own personal use.
Naked? I'm not taking a before and after naked.
Naked is a choice, but
especially
you can do whatever you want.
Girls, I see, like, keep your top off. Fine, you want to look at your boobs. But, like, boys, you could just leave your boxers on or your briefs.
I agree.
I know. Okay, great. Okay, so Andy checks in on Amanda and Wes, and he's like, y'all are quite calm, right? And they're like, there's nothing new that's going to come out. We're just going to shut down rumors.
They are so off base with how they're immediately going into this.
What rumors? What we shut down? What? They didn't even say, we're gonna apologize.
No. They're like we're here because everybody is wrong about the situation. And it's like,
we have to tell them exactly the dates so that we can be exonerated, because that'll help.
I'm like, you don't get it. You do not understand the core issue here, clearly.
Yeah.
So how can you apologize for something if you don't understand the issues?
Yeah, here's the issue. They've left the universe.
They're in Rome. They are
in Rome. Okay, and then Kyle and Sierra talk before the reunion, and Sierra gets emotional and she apologizes to Kyle because she didn't realize, during the summer, she didn't realize until when they were watching the episodes for reunion prep how misunderstood Kyle was and how he was, like, really bottoming out. He hugs her. He's like, do not cry. And he's like, we're going to do great. They're not going to get mad. They're not going to storm off. They're not going to cry after this. Like, the 2 of them. We're coming in. So let's get
like
into the
that.
reunion, shall we?
Oh my god, 12 minutes in and it finally starts, which
Dude,
I liked the intro.
Same. But like, it took, even the intros, I was like, damn, we haven't even said, the commercial happened and we hadn't even really said hi to Amanda yet. We had made Sierra Kyle and that was it.
Which, like, don't do this for every other reunion because this is a very special type of reunion.
No. The fact that most of the reunion will be the fallout, like, I don't even need to relive 90% of the summer.
No.
And most of it is their current interactions. That's not every Bravo show. Please don't do this. Anyway,
Agreed.
Bailey's first out in green. Carl comes out. He thinks Bailey looks so fucking hot. Andy in the back. Shipping. Kyle, his fly is up, so that's a good sign. Ben is here. KJ made it out. Jesse's song is being sung by Bailey's friend in Idaho. Lindsay is in a red revenge dress to make up for Kyle because he can't wear Ariana's red revenge dress.
I love them addressing that meme that was going
so
around.
Funny. He looked really good.
Online.
They are the same skin tone, Ariana and Kyle. That's why it looks so good.
Adding a new sibling. Now we have triplets with Lindsay, Kyle, and Ariana.
Mia looks like a queen, and then everyone's just kind of sitting there because it's the calm before the storm, because Sierra's obviously going to be the last one out.
Hell yeah.
So then Amanda comes out, and it gets so awkward. Andy is the only one really to say hi. Kyle kind of gives like a hello, you know,
he's
whatever.
Like, you look good, but like it's clearly like he's trying to break the ice, and he feels so weird. This is weird for him. He's A, never sat on that side, and B, never not sat next to Amanda.
Mm-hmm. But no one else knows what to do. And then Lindsay and Carl were my two favorites in this reunion because of their side comments. Lindsay goes, I really like your butter yellow dress. And Amanda's like, thanks, you girls all look so pretty. And Lindsay's like, you too. It was so fake, though.
The way Lindsay's like, I can compliment her. She looks hot, but like, you're still a bitch.
But the way Lindsay even said it was like, I'm not doing this because I want to. I'm doing it to let you know I'm not scared to talk to you. Like, it's coming. And then Wes comes out. We're silent again. I hate the way Amanda looks at Wes. Like, I hate that she looks at him with so much, like she adores him. Like, because
what annoys me about it is, like, he doesn't even deserve it.
He doesn't even see you. He doesn't look at her that way.
No. It's like, it's so embarrassing how much she's in on this and how little that man shows up for her this entire reunion.
Can I tell you, he's only in on it because he can't date anyone else now.
That's what I've been commenting on everybody's post. I'm like, he didn't choose Amanda. She's the only one left.
Yeah, he is praying this dies down so then he can, like, date someone else.
Dude,
but no one's going to date him.
He can't even move back to Missouri and date anybody. That's how bad it is.
He's really hoping for Tom Sandoval, but it's
he
had
to go to Rome to try to cheat on Amanda because he can't do it here.
And even he's being spotted in Rome all over the place. There's pictures of the two of them.
That was dumb of them to go there.
Just face it. Be fucking normal and face the backlash.
Well, don't go to a major city that a lot of American tourists go to over Memorial Day weekend.
It's so embarrassing they're running away. Like,
1,000%. But like, I get it how this went. I mean, if I did this type of performance, I would also actually leave the country, but I would just be more discreet.
You know, this is only part one, right? Like, it's not even the worst of it. How long are they going to sit in Rome? 3 weeks?
They know what they just sat and did. So, like, clearly,
are they in Rome for 3 weeks, though? They're going to sit in Rome?
Easily, they're going to be there for 2 episodes.
This isn't the worst of it. So, okay. So, Wes has on 4 sweat guards, and Lindsay's like, you might want to add more. And he's like, it came in a pack of 50. And then she laughs, and she's like, no, don't do it. Which is listen, a lot of men have this trait where they can pull you in. We both got re-pulled in for Wes. Like, I get it. I tell you.
When you have good humor, good banter, it doesn't dissipate. Like, you can hold both emotions at the same time of hatred for him and think he's still funny.
But Lindsay's like, no.
You gotta be honest. He is funny. He is charming. He is all these things, and that's how he does it.
But we can't fall for it anymore. We're done. Okay, so then here is Sierra. And listen, the way no one reacted like this for Amanda, hilarious. She walks in, Jesse goes, all rise. Like, she's the queen.
So good.
Lindsay gushes over her. They call her Jessica Rabbit. And he's like, I feel like Jabba the Hutt, and you look like Princess Leia.
And both Amanda and Wes do full body glances of her. Like, damn.
With disdain. Mia and Sierra do a little I love you before We start, and then Wes gets a text that his nudes are going around, and Andy goes, when it rains it pours.
Wait, it's him saying that they're going around Missouri and then being shocked that everybody else has seen them. Like, my guy, that's not how the internet works. Like, if they're in Missouri, they're in New York.
Oh, the internet stops in Missouri. Each state has their own. No, I love Andy being like, ooh, sucks. But Carl's like, yeah, we've seen your nudes. And he's like, you have? And then Jesse's like, I have them here. And then fucking Amanda, this pissed me
off.
Let me loose on this reunion stage. I swear to God. Amanda goes, is it weird I never got any? Hello? Who?
What? Why is that? Your guy, his nudes are leaked. And, like, that is a jarring experience for anyone, no matter what anybody has done. Like, I do feel for him on that. Like, that is, like, a mass embarrassment. And your first thought is, why don't you send me any? Or, like, why are you centering yourself in this?
What a weird joke. I think she was trying to make. I think she was trying to make a joke to be like, we're all still friends, haha. You know, like, I'm dating Wes. Let's normalize it. I think she was genuinely trying to be like, is it weird I haven't gotten any? Haha, laugh, funny.
Yeah. What do you think Carl's gonna kiki with you over that?
And then Wes looks, which obviously he should because these are his nudes and he doesn't know what's been leaked. And Amanda is like salivating looking at them. And I was like,
weird.
Disgusting. It's flaccid, my girl. Calm down.
I know. This isn't like some like hot and bothered moment. And like, why would you want it to be a hot and bothered moment as you're starting the reunion?
And it's such a pick me moment of like, that's my man and his nudes and I'm going to look. And is it weird I haven't gotten any? Like, you're about to be destroyed. Like, you're about to literally be buried alive. Problems. Yeah, are you good?
Problem.
Maybe you should just shut the fuck up. And now you're gonna have Sierra and Kyle watch you look at Wes's new. Yeah, let's do that for sure. Okay, so the reunion starts. Andy says his hellos with Sierra. He's like, "It's a shock to no one. You look incredible. You got a big wave of love and support. Congrats on Dancing with the Stars. Haha." Kyle, isn't it fun? We thought you were going to be the villain. You're not the biggest problem in the room. They really panned to Amanda and Wes.
In all the moments. Whoa. I was like, oh my God. Everybody's like purposely and like not purposely because it does fit like different topics, like what they're actually saying. But every time they can go cut to Amanda and Wes, they do. And I'm like, this is the biggest one where I'm like, I would feel like a fucking idiot on the stage. When Kyle just had that season at BravoCon, every person on that stage said Kyle had the most to answer for. And you said, let me one-up him and actually give us the biggest scandal ever.
The fact that Andy in his intro says, how does it feel to not be the biggest problem in the room is shade at you. Like,
it's so embarrassing.
The fact that the host of the reunion is not even impartial. Like, he hates you. He hates you.
Even be impartial.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, because they lied to Andy, too. Like, Andy's pissed. Andy is a part of this now.
Okay, so then we go to Amanda. She says she's feeling prepared to own up to what she's done, take accountability, and apologize, especially to Sierra and Kyle, and to explain to everyone's face what happened. And Sierra says to Kyle, because they're sitting next to each other, she says, I'm glad she could say our name, right? And Amanda goes, what? And Sierra goes, I'm glad you could say our name this time. And that's where we had cut to commercial, and I went, my God, we're not even all the way in.
I know. We haven't even gotten through intros.
Okay, so then West, Andy's like, hey, 2 years ago, you really shit the bed at your first reunion. And Lindsay laughs. I love Lindsay.
The way they're beating him down from 0.000 on the timer. Like, just get him.
Yeah. And then what will be different tonight, Wes? And he says there's a lot to explain how this wildfire came to be. And then we go to Carl. He's a mess. He says it's been hard to reconcile what's been going on. Their group should hold themselves to a higher standard. They owe that to themselves and the audience to be real, tell the truth, and take accountability. We get to Jesse. Jesse's sad. It hit him on the way over here that his friend group is fractured, and he's hoping for some common ground to move forward. Then we say hey to the newbies. Bailey's gonna make it through without being broken up in Sweet Green. Rihanna told Mia that she's a bad bitch. KJ's sad because there was a lot of fraudulent activity in this group. And
it really was.
Ben tells us Sabrina's all good. So
I was concerned. So thank you for that update.
God. If Andy says, and Sabrina's going to join us, I'm turning the TV off.
No, she's not. They don't have room for one more person in this group.
No. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. In February, Amanda and Wes were spotted holding hands at an event, and it started rumors that even West himself half denied on Watch What Happens Live on March 24th. And then March 31st, Wes and Amanda released a joint statement confirming their romance. When and why did Sierra suspect Amanda and Wes? So, I know you love a timeline, so I got dates. On January 17th, Sierra went to call Amanda to invite her out to drinks with her and Mia, but Amanda's location was at Wes's house. So Sierra called and texted. Amanda didn't answer. Amanda says she answered within 30 minutes. And Sierra says that was when Mia put us in a group chat together. And Sierra was like, why would Amanda be at Wes's house? And Amanda says, because Wes was there for her all summer and was checking in. And Sierra says, where was I?
Oh my God, the way Amanda acted like that was a flex, that she called back in 30 minutes. Like, I was on to it. And it's like, yeah, we had to do a lot to get you to respond.
What are you doing at your friend's house that, like, okay, not even your friend, kind of your friend, Wes's house, where you don't have your phone for 30 minutes? You know what I mean?
That you can't answer. Like, what are you doing that you feel like you can't answer my call when we are all friends?
Or a text. Or a text. Are you playing video games? Like, what are we in the middle of, you know?
Yeah.
If you went to the bathroom, fine, but call me back. Are you in a deep convo? What's going on? But Amanda says that Sierra was also there for her. Sure. And then when Sierra says she asked Amanda to hang out multiple times, she's always blown off. Mia says she finds it interesting that Amanda was prioritizing her friendship with Wes over her friendship with Sierra, which Amanda is like, that's not what happened. Amanda said,
what happened. This is who Amanda is, or used to be. She used to sit at home. She would never go out. She would never go out with the Summer House girls. She would never go out with Kyle. And you know what? If that's who you want to be, that's fine. But you did a complete 180 on your personality the minute you started hanging out with Wes. And people clocked it.
And yeah, you're at Wes's, you're hanging out with Wes and his friends, you're blowing off Sierra and Mia. You are prioritizing your friendship with him. Point blank, period.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. Mia didn't have a question for you. She just said, it's interesting.
That can be a platonic thing. That doesn't mean that you guys were hooking up, but you were prioritizing hanging out with Wes over any type of interaction with Sierra.
So Amanda says she had an awakening. She was living on her own, separated from her ex, and she was trying to prioritize herself. And Sierra says, then why are you at the bars with Wes and breadcrumbing everyone on Instagram? Amanda says she was hanging out with other people, not just Wes. But then everyone kind of explodes and is like, they were all Wes's friends. I love Lindsay going, Who are your friends? She's like an owl. They're going off about Amanda only hanging out with Wes's friend. There's this girl, Katie, not Katie DeLuca from In the City, different Katie, that they're like, that's also Wes's friend. And this is what Amanda says. It was not Wes's friend. Fuck off, Sierra, or whatever she said. And I was like, God. Don't you dare.
It did piss me off that Kyle was like helping her be like listing her one other friend outside of Katie DeLuca. But that is like an embarrassing moment where everybody's like, oh, you do not have friends. These are West's friends that you have latched onto because you're fucking West. You don't have friends.
And if I was the other Katie, I'd be like, leave me out of this. I don't want to be associated with these psychos.
Don't drop my last name, for
all
sure.
of Wes's friends that probably knew. Fuck you too, you know what I mean?
Knew.
Fuck you too, you know what I mean?
Even Katie DeLuca, I think, knew something. There's no way your best friend doesn't know something. And she was with them whenever they went to that NYU bar.
Okay. So, yeah, Amanda just told Sierra to fuck off. And Sierra says, shut the fuck up, Amanda. You don't want to cross this bridge with me. I don't see your man sticking up for you now, which he continues to not.
Mute. I don't think West has said any words since that intro in the nudes.
Okay, so Jesse Solomon is being compared to Tom Schwartz, a.k.a. someone who knew about the affair and said nothing and helped them try to hide it. But Jesse says, I don't think that. But that is funny. It's funny if you knew the Tom Schwartz of it all.
I think it was appropriate for us to be like, it seems like he could have known, and what does he know?
It's happened to us before. We cannot question men that hang out.
He came so fucking prepared to answer for this. He brought his own little timeline.
Yeah, so Jesse says he found out with the rest of the world. Amanda denied it to him. Wes denied it to him. He has a timeline, and Carl so dead ass goes, get it out. No style. Get it out. That's why we're here.
We better circle back to that.
Yeah.
And if not, Jesse, I'm asking you right now. I'm going to
post
photos on the internet.
Post it. I just love Carl. Get it out.
Yeah.
Carl is pissed.
Because I think the key thing here is to say what everybody did and didn't know, and like where the truth is and where the lies are. So then everything is hashed out. Nobody can be tagged with anything later. To be honest, like the timeline is a get out of jail free card for Jesse. So Carl's like, hey, like air out your shit.
I also think Amanda and Wes are so hung up on, like, we have to clear up the timeline. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Jesse, you pull out your timeline, tell us what you know, and we're going to show you how little that matters. Amanda and Wes, like, now what? Who gives a fuck? Like, Carl is over it.
But also, Amanda and Wes can't ever conceptualize how large this timeline would have to be. Whether they're lying or telling the truth. I know. Like, I don't think they understand how much is on the internet. Like, in the Vanderpump world, we had Sheena's vlogs, and, like, that gave us a lot of dates. But there wasn't a lot of social media posts outside of actual Bravo things. Like, BravoCon had some weird instances, whatever. But they did breadcrumb this, and I know that gets brought up later, all over the internet. There is so much to timeline this out, and they're never going to be able to give a perfect timeline that will basically get them out of this and satisfy the audience, because it's impossible. You do have to upset the audience in order to give a timeline.
It's that. It will never be satisfied with it because it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day.
No, and that's a whole other
You did
thing.
it. Whether you did it 8 years ago or 8 minutes ago, you did it.
You did
You know what I mean? Point blank, period.
The minute you have one date on that timeline, I'm pissed off.
Hello, yeah. It could be today, and I'm still pissed.
Yes.
Wes does say he lied to people here, and that's not cool. He doesn't say sorry. He says that's not cool.
Not cool, bro.
That's not cool. I get it. And Sierra says, but you lie about your life and who you are, and you're the most fraudulent person, and no one actually knows who you are because you live a different life off camera than you do on camera.
The gasp, I gasped.
Wes goes, how so? And she goes, you had a girlfriend, Miha? And then we cut to our next commercial. It doesn't matter. So Miha, he was someone he was seeing. And Lindsay says, Miha thought you were exclusive, and she spent the night with you before you went to watch What Happens Live. And she bought you that tie you were wearing. And Andy's like, the horse tie? The horsehair tie?
I mean,
I don't care.
I don't care about the tie per se, but knowing that she flew here, spent the night at his apartment, made
she
that
flew
tie for him. Yeah, she does. She lives in Montana.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's got a girlfriend in every state.
Like, that's weird. And Amanda being like, yeah, no, I know about her. Girl, that does not make it better. I think it's weirder that you know.
She says he knew he was dating other women. They had a whole conversation about it. Which I said, knowing Amanda, the conversation was, stop dating other people and date me. And he said, all right. Because he was still probably going to fuck other girls.
I'm sure it was like, are you seeing anybody else? And it's like, yeah. And then like,
she said,
because this was blowing up all on the internet, it's like Miha was a perfect cover, to be honest. So it's just weird. I don't like, I just can't imagine wanting this man, A, because he's my friend's ex, but then he's like sleeping with half of New York. And you're like, no, I like want to explore this with him is even crazier. Like the hurdles you have to go through to do this is like, it's too steep. I'm a little too lazy. And
the fact that New York like calls him the nude Timothy Chalamet, because Timothy Chalamet spread chlamydia all around NYU supposedly when he was there because he was sleeping with so many people. They're like, yeah, this is just Timothy Chalamet part 2.
And that's something to be
That's
proud
embarrassing.
Of, Amanda.
So Mia says, Amanda, why are you doing this? You went from being married to being one of Wes's side bitches. Like, that's crazy. And this is when Amanda looks at the camera with a slight smile and goes, "Kay, let me punch it."
She's doing her big one.
Yeah.
And I will say this was part of that leaked audio, and it still hits because getting to see everybody's faces and actually hear the like right audio because they're able to like put audios up and down is amazing. Because in the leaked, we didn't get Amanda's like, okay, like we got nothing. Yeah.
I genuinely, like, about this time started to think Amanda thinks that they're going to look bad after this reunion and she's going to look like the victim.
She only knows how to play the victim.
And that's why she's like, oh, okay.
She's an
like, she's not even going to respond. She's
it's her like automatic response is to act like this. And
Yep.
so, yeah, I agree. I think she thinks like they're just being unnecessarily
They're bullies.
mean.
They're bullies.
They're blowing this out of proportion. Like, people are going to see it's like not that big of a deal. She didn't have a claim on Wes.
Her and
It's
Wes
like,
are in love, so like people are gonna go for it. Whatever.
dude, I would actually respect them more if they'd been dating for a year and actually were in love. Like, I would weirdly respect that more, but this is like a fucking situationship.
All right, let's talk about the statement. It came out rushed because of how insane everything became, and there were a lot of layers. And Carl says, are there enough layers to say what the fuck is going on here?
Yes! Like, I mean, every time somebody chimes in, I'm like, exactly!
Yeah. No, Carl and Lindsay truly were my MVPs. Like, they just said it. You know what I mean? They were like, fuck this. It wasn't a drunk hookup. Wes and Amanda clearly talked about this relationship because they released a fucking statement about it.
Not even just a statement. It's a joint statement. Let's
joint
call it what
statement.
it was. It was a joint statement. Because I understand putting out a statement when rumors are flying about you. And if they had put out two separate statements, clearly they were laying in their apartments and just like felt like they needed to say something and they write them on their own and they post it on their own. All right, this was a joint statement.
Where
Crazy.
They sat down and said, what are we? And how do we explain that to the audience?
And we got that mess of a statement.
And that's what the conversation I need is that one. Oh my God. And it doesn't matter. Anyway, Sierra says they knew how weird it would be to do a joint statement and they still chose, well, also that, and also like knew how weird it would be to be together and they still chose to do it. And Amanda says, sometimes you just can't help who you like. And Sierra goes, you can help it. And also, Kyle and Amanda, not even divorced yet by the state of New Jersey, as Carl does tell us.
Oh my God. I just like, I don't get her because we've talked about this. We agree that like you don't get to choose who you have feelings for. It just kind of does happen, but you get to choose how much you invest in that and your actions around it. Mm-hmm. So if I had any inkling that I liked my friend's ex, I would be like, I need to stop hanging out with this person. Like, clearly I can't handle it.
That's kind of how you stop your feelings. You stop being around that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You just stop centering your entire life around them.
Maybe like instead of drinks with Wes, you go to drinks with Sierra. Because she
remember your best friend.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Center your best friend in this. Stop centering your best friend's ex in your life.
So Sierra says there are a million other guys, but Amanda chose the one that would fuck up Sierra the most because Amanda is a snake in the fucking grass and she moves silent, but she's fucking deadly. And we got that leak, but it still hit. It still hit. And then KJ goes, bars.
Commentary is everything to me.
Bars. That was so good. Okay, so when Sierra asked Amanda about the West stuff, Amanda denied it. What went through Amanda's mind? And Amanda says she was terrified. She knew the truth would have to come out and she would have to tell Sierra. And Kyle's like, hey, hello, West is my friend too. Like, I'm hurt. When are you going to tell me?
I appreciate him actually like centering himself because I do forget about him because he was a terrible husband.
So
I'm
sorry.
Also like, whatever, fuck off, Kyle. But like in the telling of people, he deserves to be told. Like no matter how shitty Kyle is, like you are still married, you're trying to have an amicable divorce. He should be told. So he's like, what about me? You only thought about Sierra?
Yeah, this is your not yet ex-wife and your friend / coworker. Yeah. And you don't know?
It's weird that West isn't speaking up here to be like, yeah, I felt guilty too. I thought about the conversations I would have to have. And so we just avoided it. That's the thing. They're not even acknowledging the humanity and like wanting to run away with this or like hide from it. And like, I get that natural instinct of like, oh, I fucked up so bad. Let's keep hiding it and like putting it off and putting it off. But they cannot acknowledge that they just kept fucking up over and over again because they would have to acknowledge the initial fuck up.
Yes, which is crazy. It's crazy to me. Okay, anyway. And Sierra says they're both snakes in the grass because Wes fucked up for doing that to Kyle. They're both fucking weird. And Andy says, look, it would take a casual viewer of the show to say that the statement was weird that it didn't include Sierra or Kyle. And Amanda says, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
No,
and everyone
that
goes,
is
no.
not how that works. Because the thing is in that statement, damned if I do, damned if I don't, is solely focused on the audience's perspective of that, and that you are going to get backlash from the audience. And if I fucked my best friend's ex and still wanted to try to remain friends with that, like be friends with that person, the only thing I would consider then is that person in trying to mend that, giving a public apology, giving a personal apology. I would literally show up at their door and they would probably slam it in my face, but I would continue to try to like talk to them and I would do everything I possibly could. But that's not what Amanda and Wes did. They only care about what the audience thinks here.
I don't think they care about Sierra. Like,
No.
I don't think any part, they knew they weren't going to be friends with Sierra and Kyle.
They didn't want to put their names in it.
I think in their statement, they were thinking of themselves, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, even to get the audience a little on your side, you still should apologize publicly to Sierra and Kyle, right? But they are so, like, I don't want to say narcissistic, but I think, like, self-centered in this whole thing. They can't see past their nose. They're like, this is hard for us because we have to hide and we're in secret and we can't see how anyone else is being hurt in all this. So let's just put out there that we actually like each other and we're doing this thing and, like, whatever. They don't even see it. They don't care.
No.
But the audience cares about specifically Sierra. No offense to Kyle, but you know what I mean? The audience cares, but they, like, missed that mark. So I think they're like, they're thinking Amanda is, when she says damned if you do, damned if you don't, of either way we were going to get backlash.
Yeah.
So we focused on our relationship.
Audience.
Yeah. Yep.
It's weird because they also didn't tell anybody they were going to put that statement out. That shows to me that you only cared about the public. Like, it's the public pressure that made you do this. It wasn't, hey, I need to go talk to my friend because like, I have to finally admit to my friend that I did do this.
Well, Andy goes, did a PR person help with the statement? And Carl goes, I hope not.
No, I agree.
And Amanda tries to make a joke of, like, ChatGPT wrote that.
Why are we making jokes about this? It's so inappropriate to make jokes. Like, I understand if you, like, giggle at incorrect times because it's, like, uncomfortable, but to actively make jokes about a statement that was fucking weird, about a hookup that was weird, is crazy.
Because she's not taking it seriously.
No.
And so Andy's like, hey, Carl, do you think the statement was the right move? Because of, like, everything that happened with him and Lindsay. He's been in a scandal before. And Carl says, it was a terrible move, but if you're going to do it, apologize to Sierra and Kyle. And Amanda says she apologized privately. And Carl says, do it publicly in the statement, because who's the statement for? It's like singing happy birthday without using someone's name.
An amazing analogy.
That's
amazing.
Bars. Put it on a shirt, lover boy. Let's... That quote alone, I think that Sierra had a lot of bangers, but that quote left me jaw dropped.
I haven't stopped thinking about that since I watched this reunion. That is the one that is stuck in my head.
And it's Carl saying, who's the statement for? It was for the audience, obviously, but he's like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
And he's like, you put out a statement because you fucked up and you should address the people you hurt. I think Amanda was shocked that Carl is speaking to her this way.
I agree. I fully agree, because he is the soft one. Like, he's always had a soft spot for Amanda. Like, Amanda and Kyle's relationship. He has been there through everything. Like, they have a soft spot for him. Like, it's much more of a nurturing, like, sweet relationship compared to the one with Lindsay. Like, they've had a lot of ups and downs with Lindsay. So for Carl to be on an opposition from Amanda and then also be so vocal about it, and we know that that's not Carl's standard, is, I mean, that shows how deep this is.
Her. Shocking. So Amanda says she texted everyone on the stage to apologize. And KJ actually says, yeah, Amanda, thank you for texting, because Wes, you didn't.
That's
and Wes,
crazy.
Wes
didn't
is
text
like,
people.
Because Wes brought him into this fucking circus. And Wes is like, I didn't text any of the newbies. I was focused on the people I thought it hurt. And Bailey's like, yeah, but we got dragged into it. And like, AKA, dude, this was their first season. You kind of stole the thunder from, we're not going to be able to talk about the newbies that much because you really stole the fucking thunder. KJ, I tried to time his like whole segment he got in this episode, like a minute and a half.
But it's also like, he can't acknowledge the harm that he's causing in any capacity, because having somebody have to answer for your indiscretions is something you should apologize for.
100%. Amanda says she thought it'd be inauthentic to apologize in the statement, so she texted separately. Wes apologizes to KJ. Great. They start talking about, like, Amanda and Sierra communicating about this. And Sierra goes, let me just get my phone out, actually. So I wrote down the texts so we can relive them.
I'm so happy she read these. This was everything to me.
So the day the rumors dropped, Sierra doesn't hear from Amanda until that night. Amanda says, hi, checking in. The internet is fucking on one right now, and I feel like everything I do is under a microscope, and I can't believe I'm even having to text you this right now. But Wes and I are very much just friends. I'm sad we're even having to discuss this.
I mean...
And
that is wild, knowing that they had already, in their timeline, said that they had already kissed. Like, to put that out there and say that to your friend,
yeah,
and to be like, I just can't believe we even have to talk about this when you are actively doing the thing that it's being talked about. Like, you're trying to victimize yourself in your own texts.
They said they were talking at the time, but everything was PG, which means they were kissing.
But no, later then they say that they
didn't kiss till brunch.
But that was on March 1st, and these texts are on March 5th.
So Jesse says, "Why even continue to lie? When did you hook up? Like, just fucking say it."
Yeah.
And Sierra's like, "Let me keep reading." Okay, so Sierra responds and says, "So I can expect there to be no photos or videos coming out. Feel like such a widespread rumor for there to be no veracity to it." And Amanda says, "Nothing different than what I've posted myself. People have just seen us with each other more and are being psychos. I hear what you're saying, but I feel like I can't even exist without people overanalyzing everything I do." And Sierra says, "Okay, so for clarity, because I don't really feel like you're making it clear, you and West have not hooked up, made out, held hands under the table, or had sex." And Amanda says, "Correct."
I mean, that.
And Amanda says, "I lied."
Oh, no shit.
And then Kyle brings up Amanda's location being off because Kyle and Sierra both had Amanda's location, and then all of a sudden she starts like sporadically turning it off. And Amanda says she doesn't share her location with the two of them. And Andy goes, "Well, that didn't work out well." And Amanda says she doesn't want everyone, her managers, her friends, etc., to know where she was at all times. And this is where Mia and Lindsay and Carl, my favorite three, my big three, say, "Because you were doing shady shit," like all three of them. And Lindsay says, "I would turn off my location if I was hooking up with my best friend's ex." And Carl and Jesse giggle. They're like, "Yeah, this is so dumb."
It's so weird to pass off blame as if they're stalking you.
Yeah, and then Amanda's like, "I wasn't sleeping with West." Like, that's not the fucking point, sweetheart.
Like, there are multiple issues here. It's that you are hooking up with
you're
him at this point.
PGing hook up with him, whatever that is.
You're spending all this time with him, spending the night with him, and you're not being honest about it. No matter what you had done at this point, you have an inappropriate relationship with your friend's ex.
Yeah, and you're sleeping over. That's like crazy.
And lying about it then. So then that's like building up the issues that we're having here. And the fact that she sits there and says like, "Well, I didn't want everybody to look at my location." Stop doing sketchy shit that like you need to be called out for then.
Also, bitch, I don't care if you were over there like taking care of his pet. Why is it shady? Don't leave your location on. And when someone asks, "Why are you at Wes's?" you can say, "Hey, I'm answering within 30 seconds because nothing shady is happening." Like, it is so...
But that requires not doing shady shit.
It's fine. It's fine. Like, I'm going to try and not be
If you have to lie
pissed.
about it, there's a problem.
If you have to lie. Okay, so who made the first move? I guess Wes and Amanda were out one day, and Wes looked at her and said, "Am I wrong for thinking there's something going on here?" And then the first kiss, they say, was end of February after a brunch with the boys, including Kyle.
I think that was actually on March 1st. But either way, it's between like February 27th and March 1st is when that brunch happened, because Jesse addressed that day on his Watch What Happens Live. He said the boys went to brunch, and then Wes disappeared and went to brunch with Amanda after, and then Kyle and Jesse caught Amanda and Wes together. And we're like, what the fuck's going on? And allegedly, I don't know if this is actually true, apparently like some photos of them like holding hands at that bar, but like Jesse and Kyle didn't see that, but
that's when the rumors started, and
yeah.
then that's when Sierra had to text
again.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, when did they first sleep together? After the statement. Not that night, but... Which is crazy. Crazy. I'm going to release a statement with a man that's going to blow up my whole life about how we're figuring out what we are, and I haven't even gotten dicked down by him yet?
We're PG.
I don't think so.
My friends don't even know about the person if it's PG. What?
No. That's crazy thing. That's insane.
I don't believe this, by the way, but it's crazy that this is the timeline you're presenting.
Yeah. And then Wes says it wasn't a sex scandal. And Lindsay goes, "Yeah, we know you didn't fuck till recently. Great job."
It's so weird. They are on a different planet mentally.
I think it would have been better if they had slept together before the statement.
Agreed.
I think they're like, you know what would be better? We say we make it not a sex scandal. Make it a sex scandal and be done with it.
That's where I think they don't understand how to lie about this correctly. Like, to be honest, I wish I was consulted as like the lie expert, because I would have given better lies. I'm like,
they should have hired Hub House for the PR of it all at this point.
You're
my God.
Your lying timeline is that you put out a statement, weird that you have to put out a statement for someone you've maybe kissed a few times, and then you're saying that after the statement was released and people are calling your relationship weird and your friends are upset with you, now you're gonna fuck that man?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, now that we're out in the open.
Now I'm
and everyone hates us.
ChatGPT, me and West, ooh, really turns me
now
on.
we can fuck. Okay, let's hear the rest of the text messages. So, March 7th, Amanda says, oh my gosh, do you want to talk at all? This is like post them kissing, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, do you want to talk at all? I'm super in my head about where we left off this conversation, and I hate the thought of things being weird between us because of Wes. Like, that's so silly to me. I think we've talked about this before. I hate when people are like, that's silly. When it's actually like fucking crazy.
Because it's actually happening. It's weird that you are like, oh, I don't know if my lie hit as hard as it should have. Let me double down on this and make sure that I'm good with this person and make it clear that, like, this is no big deal and shouldn't be a big deal. And if you're mad at me because there's rumors going on, Amanda, imagine how mad she would be if she knew this were true.
No, this is crazy. And then Amanda interrupts and says she should have just admitted she had feelings for Wes. And Sierra goes, yeah, and then you remove yourself from the situation. And Amanda goes, oh, so I'm not allowed. This is the part. Can I tell you? I got so mad. And I'm sorry if I lose it right now, but like, this angers me. Amanda says, so I'm not allowed to pursue something that I feel strongly about. And Lindsay, me, and Sierra all go, no. And Kyle says, you don't feel strongly. If in your statement you're like, we're figuring things out, you obviously don't feel that strong about it. And Mia goes, are we morally bankrupt? Like, this is crazy. And Amanda says, okay, so no one in this world has ever been in a situation like this.
No, I can confidently say I haven't.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. No one in this world, people in this world have been in this situation. And guess what? It didn't end well for them either, I bet.
I was about to say, they have two choices, just like you had. You either stop doing and stop having feelings, or like you ignore this person and you get them out of your life, or you pursue it like you did and you lose your friends over it.
Like, hello? No one in this world. But like, Mia and Lindsay are both like, maybe in high school. And Lindsay goes, we're in our 30s. And Amanda goes, so this is the craziest shit that's happened in the whole entire world.
She's fucking minimizing it, and it pisses me off.
Bitch, that's probably the Holocaust that was the craziest shit that happened in this world. But like, I'm not going to sit here and say this isn't crazy.
That is like, just because crazier things have happened, are we not allowed to be upset about it? Why are you policing their reaction to your fucked up behavior?
Crazy's a spectrum, okay?
Yeah.
On the list of crazy shit that's happened in this world, we currently have a reality TV star as our president for the second time. That's pretty crazy. But you know what? I'm going to say, as far as like on Bravo, this is probably one of the crazier things that has happened.
100%.
And maybe just like in your friends' personal lives, this is probably a craziest thing that's ever, for Sierra, this is probably the craziest thing that's ever happened. So yeah, we're going to make a big deal out of it. But in the grand scheme of the whole wide world, you want us to compare you to that? And Sierra's like, you're downplaying this.
It's gross.
Like, hello?
She showed up on that stage, Amanda, and said, I want to sit here and I want to make amends and I want to apologize. What's this behavior? You dropped that so fucking quick. You dropped that mask of like, I'm sorry.
Oh, I want to take accountability. But you're saying this is the craziest thing. No one ever even said that. But we said, this is crazy.
This is weird. This is crazy. And now
we
you're
didn't
being
say
so
the
dramatic
craziest.
about it.
You realize, like, people on this stage, like, KJ is going through mental health issues, and Mia's parents are both passed away, and, like, Bailey got broken up with at Sweet Green, like, crazy things have fucking happened, but you can't say this isn't crazy. Like, hello?
Yeah.
Like, we're nuts, dude. And then Bailey whispers over to Mia and is like, Wes isn't saying anything. And Mia's like, the fuck is he gonna say at this point? Which, good job. Just honestly stay silent at this point.
No,
I don't need it.
Bravo did an excellent job about those side comments because it's true. I'm glad people are also clocking it because I was going to clock it the entire time as the audience, but like it's hard to probably in the room not focus on like Amanda shouting this stuff and like hone in on how Wes is doing jack shit for the millionth time and he's just going to get away with this.
And Sierra's like, so you two were willing to throw off this whole house just so you could figure out how you're feeling about each other. And Andy's like, okay, so we can close this off. Sierra, what are your intentions for this reunion?
The way
and
we're
Sierra,
adding tensions and we're like 45 minutes into the episode was crazy.
I know. Sierra, and I quote, also, wait, pause. You realize if this was 45 minutes of us seeing this, they sat here for like 2 hours.
I know.
Listening to this bullshit. And then Andy goes, let's start the reunion,
You know
shall
what?
we?
Let's dive in now.
Okay, so Sierra says, and I quote, I mean, after that, I don't know. I guess we might as well discuss the details before I put them in the ground and cover them in dirt. That's up there with Carl saying, it's like singing happy birthday and not using a name. Like, the way I gagged.
No, for me, that's on the level of Ariana and her reunion saying, like, fuck yourself with a fucking cheese grater. But this one cut deeper to me because it's like, I'm gonna fucking bury you.
I'm gonna kill you,
bitch. Yeah.
And you're gonna know. I'm not even gonna
You're gonna
actually
be awake
kill you
the whole time as I torture you before I kill you.
I'll bury you in the ground. And the way she says it, like Ariana viscerally said it because she was angry. Sierra said, I don't even care. This is light work.
I know. Her calmness, the entire cast's calmness freaked me the fuck out. I was like scared and I didn't do anything wrong.
Can I tell you? Lindsay, when she said that, went, yup. Lindsay has never been more proud. Yeah. So proud of her.
Thank God they're friends.
Okay, so then we take a break. And as we are, Jesse looks at Carl and is like, Lindsay's giving Cruella de Vil. And Carl says, yeah, it looks good. But Lindsay hears him and is like, Carl, do you want a hug? And he calls her Hug House.
I love that.
I'm obsessed. So then Levi comes out, join the group in soft bar green. So let's talk about like some of the fun stuff this summer. So Levi loves the party. She loved getting to know everyone. She didn't find love. She was like, the guys just weren't into me, but I found friendship. And
I'm
I was
so
like,
confused why we have this whole segment with Levi and we haven't.
I love
more than 10
Levi.
words. I do too, but I'm like, this is the most we've heard from her the entire season, and that's on the
Give it to her.
producers, the editors.
Yeah.
Like, this was just weird to bring her in and be like, "How was your summer?" We don't know how her summer was.
Give it to her. Also, Levi, the boys would be lucky to be into you. Fuck these
Very
men.
good point.
Juicy Wes, you don't need these boys,
Yeah, you
girl.
don't want these boys.
Okay, Bailey, we talk about the first dinner when Bailey was like trauma dumping about her Sweet Queen breakup. And Jesse admits he was like, I was worried. I thought this was the wrong show for them.
Rightfully so, by the way.
Yeah. Levi and Bailey have a great friendship. I really do find their friendship so endearing. They love to cuddle. They're even more inseparable than you think. Carl is like, I can't go anywhere with Bailey without Levi being there. Like, so funny. Sierra had great costumes. She's hoping Karma Brown's boobs can end up in the clubhouse. Lindsay's cardboard cutout gave the most hand jobs this summer.
Right. You were right. You said it in our episode, and I was like, "No,
What'd
they were just like bopping her." You said it was like her giving a hand job, and I was like, "I don't think so."
I knew what Kyle was doing because I found it hilarious.
It was just like a 5-second clip that, like, when we saw them, the clip we got in this reunion was much longer, and it was Kyle giggling.
Lindsay was getting hand jobs and getting censored on TikTok.
That is crazy.
Mia was a great addition to this summer, and her friendship with Sierra was pure goals. Mia says she's really thankful for Sierra, especially at this point in her life when she's experienced a lot of loss. The audience was obviously touched to hear stories about Mia's mom. This is the first time I cry in the episode. I appreciate the person who wrote in and asked Mia if a psychic helped or hurt.
Yeah.
Because I had that same question. But Mia says it really helped her. And she says everyday grief is different. Some days she's excited, and some days she feels stuck, and she tries to live for her mom and dad and do all the things she can do that they would want her to do. And I was in tears. Anyway, Scott and Mia broke up shortly after the summer. Mia always instigates the breakups.
Love that for her.
And Andy says,
I'm happy they broke up. Like,
Me
that
too.
was, you could kind of tell they were, but
the
I wasn't
restaurant
100%
industry
sure.
is
It's a
hard
tough one.
work. Andy's like, hey, Sierra, how is single Mia? And Sierra's exhausted thinking about it. Mia always wants to talk to everyone. So Andy's like, oh, are you looking for someone? And Mia says she's not looking for anyone right now. She's just looking to pour into herself. She thinks it's unhappy to go from one serious relationship to another. Camera pans to West and Amanda.
I mean, iconic.
And Mia's just here to celebrate herself. Okay, Ben, did you know Bailey had a crush on you? No. Period.
He's useless.
Let's talk about Amanda's birthday dinner and we had that comment about Ben wanting to sleep with Amanda. Bailey clears up it didn't come from jealousy. She was being silly and she was drunk and dehydrated and she felt like everyone else had joked about this skinny dipping thing and like he was talking about Amanda's look. So she was like, Ben wants to sleep with Amanda, which I still think he fucking did. I
get the pipeline of how you get to this joke being said. Is it in an appropriate time? Yes, but like the way people are like on her forever saying this, even though it was being talked about,
Bailey wasn't wrong
all the summer.
I'm with Bailey on this one.
I fully believe that he would have slept with her had Sabrina
if the option,
not happened. Yeah, if the opportunity presented itself, he would fuck her.
Yeah, if she wasn't dating Kyle in Italy. And I don't think Sabrina was around at that point.
Kyle. She was married.
Married, whatever. He would have fucked her in that pool. He would have fucked her in that pool. I thought you were about
to say that if she didn't start fucking Wes, like, he could have been up next. And I was like...
I don't think... by then Sabrina was there and that would have complicated things. But I think he's always had a little something for Amanda.
Why can't he just admit she's hot and, like, he's her type or, like, he's like, physically into her?
Because he was dating Sabrina the whole time. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so, Andy says, Ben, you reacted to Bailey's joke with such fervor. Do you have anger issues? And Levi nods yes. Levi's like, yup.
Levi gets so many pans to like clock in on like other people's comments. It was funny.
So Ben said he felt hurt and misunderstood because that was something he would never cross in his mind. And he would never do that. Camera pans to Wes. And he didn't like being called out in front of everyone. I just think a man hates to be embarrassed, okay?
100%. And also, just because you would never do it doesn't mean that the joke doesn't hit. Like, it's being discussed, it's becoming a bit. A lot of my bits in my friend group aren't actually true, but they're just rooted in something that somebody else has said.
Or, like, the way you come across.
Yeah.
So Ben says him and Bailey hadn't had a conversation at all about anything that summer. So it's weird Bailey would say that. And Bailey and Levi are like, liar, okay? We hung out. Like, we knew each other. And Bailey looks at Ben and says, you like to reprimand women. You reprimanded me. You reprimanded her. I don't know who her is. I was assuming
Amanda.
Levi.
Amanda.
But the camera then panned to Amanda. Yeah. You reprimanded her, and I don't like how you talk to Sabrina. And Bailey thinks Sabrina can do better than Ben because he talks to Sabrina like shit, which I think we clocked in that one episode. I was like, he talks to her like he doesn't like her.
Like she was a child. He was like talking about if they ever have kids, and he was like, you need
Can
to
you get ready? Yeah. God forbid we have kids. God forbid was crazy.
God forbid. What? Yeah, Sabrina has a child with you.
But then Bailey is like, you're really nice to Kyle. Why do you only pop off on women? And
Facts.
Yeah, Bailey says she doesn't give a fuck or not whether he wants to fuck Amanda or not. But also, like, he probably got mad because he was dating Sabrina the whole time. And Wes and Levi also think he was dating Sabrina the whole time. And then Ben and Andy are both kind of like, well, when Carl lost his cool, you wanted to fuck him. And Bailey says she was into Carl losing his cool because he wasn't yelling at her. He was yelling at Kyle. He was sticking up for women. And Ben keeps going.
Ben cannot understand the difference between him and Carl's reactions and like why it is different for Bailey, especially Bailey being the one to experience Ben's like popping off. Is frustrating. I am so convinced that Ben lost control of this joke, I'll say, because when he got introduced to the house, Amanda, Kyle, and Ben were all joking about the skinny dipping. And people asked, was it like an orgy? And like all those jokes were funny when Ben thought he was in control of the narrative. But the minute it switches and somebody else is starting the joke or tailoring, like tailing it off. It's like, that's what upsets him. And instead of correcting the narrative and just saying, I wouldn't do that, please don't joke about that, like, I understand the skinny dipping, like, we've been joking about that, but he can't acknowledge where this joke spurred off from and that he had a hand in it.
A man hates to be embarrassed. But yeah, my favorite was when, like, Ben literally looks at Bailey and goes, you wanted to make out with him. And Bailey goes, yes, I did, because he wasn't yelling at me, you jackass. And I think we need to bring back jackass as an insult. You jackass is so funny. I was cracking up. Anyway.
Bailey handled this so well.
Yeah,
incredible.
It was so good.
And the fact that they were sitting next to each other is kind of crazy.
Hilarious. Ben and Levi should have switched. My gosh. Okay, so Carl and Bailey, let's talk about it. They had so many sweet moments. Even Andy is like, are we doing this or not?
Yeah.
Carl loves a ton of things about Bailey. Lindsay's like, they have the same fucking energy. They got that same weird fucking energy that I hate in Carl. No, I'm just kidding. But they both love to trauma dump. They both love hugs, I'm sure. Carl's just very cautious in the house, obviously. Pans to Lindsay. Kyle looks at Lindsay and Lindsay goes, me.
Also, I mean, he has hooked up with many of people in the house. So why add one more?
The Workus twins pop up behind the couch.
Paige,
Danielle.
Like, he has a long list.
Yeah. But yeah, Carl's very cautious. Bailey and Carl are friends. They've hung out. Carl loves their friendship. He's just not prioritizing dating. And then Andy's like, Bailey, did you take Lindsay's advice and send Carl nudes? And Bailey goes, I did not, because that would be insane. Camera pans to Wes and Amanda.
Literally, like, that one they're reaching for straws, but they're going to pay for them.
They still did it, and it hit. It hit.
Well, it's funnier because Amanda hasn't gotten nudes.
It's so good. It was a good hit. So then Lindsay makes a joke to Kyle and Sierra, right? And says, like, if Carl got those nudes, he'd be hard bar. You know what I mean? To which Kyle and Sierra both die laughing. And then Kyle steals her joke and says it to the group. And Lindsay's pissed.
The problem is that Lindsay tees up her joke that, like, Kyle has to be the one to say it. Because if Lindsay said both parts, it wouldn't have hit as hard.
I know, but Lindsay's like, that was my joke.
She's like, I just want to let you know that was mine.
And then
Carl said, we're going to make sure you know that she came up with that.
Well, Carl points to the two of them and goes, you two on a couch together, next to each other, dangerous.
I don't think they've ever really sat next to each other, have they?
They haven't. No, because Kyle is either first chair and or second chair next to Amanda, and Lindsay is usually always first or second chair, so she has to go on the other side.
Yeah. That one year Paige was first chair, but still, like, she was next to Paige.
And then when Carl was first chair, he was going against Lindsay, and they put Kyle next to Carl.
Yeah.
So. Okay. So everyone ships Bailey and Carl. Jesse says, sometimes it's good to be friends with someone before you start dating. Camera pans to Wes and Amanda goes, that's crazy, because I think she can't believe Jesse would talk to her that way.
No, she thinks that, like, that is bolstering her thoughts, is like, you should be friends with someone before you date. And she's like, exactly. See, me and Wes should be friends before we date. Like, this is why we should be dating. And
Jesse
like,
goes, what? Sometimes.
Yeah, like, that doesn't help your cause, because it's not the fact that you two are just dating in this friend group. They constantly are missing the point.
They cannot comprehend. I don't understand how all these people in scandals cannot, like, comprehend fucking anything. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I always sit here and go, are we crazy?
Well, I think it's that a lack of self-awareness or, like, reflection, because it's hard to look at your own decisions and say, like, 100%. I really fucked up, and to really sit in it and to explore every capacity of it, especially when you're in a friend group, on a show, on a public stage doing it, you're going to get automatically defensive. So I understand them not just, like, coming out and being like, oh my God, we're the worst people ever.
But it's been like
whatever.
A month at this point. Your parents aren't talking about, your friends aren't being like, hey,
but
man.
Amanda's never had to be the problem. So why would she ever in life have to explore where she fucked up?
I'm just surprised because, like, even Wes's parents, after the first thing with Sierra, said to him and were like, you're going to look bad. You know what I mean? I'm surprised Wes isn't more, like, with Amanda being like, hey, we have to take accountability. You know what I mean?
But the thing is like, you're going to look bad isn't admitting, like, you did wrong. It's that, oh, people dislike me. And so I don't think Wes is rooted in the fact that he did anything wrong last time with Sierra. And to be honest, he didn't do that much fucked up. We've really, like, talked about that.
Yeah.
Like, like, that's just like life circumstances. He should have been more honest, whatever. It's that he is like, I got backlash for this. Like, he looks at the public backlash as like, they just make an opinion and like, they don't know the truth.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like, you're able to evade the self-reflection that you should be having here to really sit with your friend, because they have been so focused on the public. They are not focused on their friends. So they can't take a look at what the issue is.
That's so crazy, dude. Anyway, Carl and Bailey, just friends. They're different places in life. Great. Okay, let's get to KJ, Sierra, and Mia, siblings for life.
I love them.
They're both tough. They're both looking out for each other. This is the second time I cried in the reunion. KJ opened up about his anxiety and his mental health issues, which was received very well by the audience. And then KJ shares with us that he didn't expect the support. He
said that to us in our DMs. He was really, really nervous whenever the season was starting, knowing obviously what he had filmed, what his, I'll say, storyline was going to be. And I am so thankful that it was received so well. And I think that shows how far we as like public have come to like really take serious mental health concerns. And the more people who open up like KJ, the more people in the public are able to share in their own lives. Like, it really does matter, like, to see this on TV.
I also think, like, it cannot be unsaid that, like, one, as a society, mental health has always been a stigma and it hasn't been a positive one. Second, the Black community has been a community that has not always been open to mental health. And third, Black men specifically, I think, are, like, the most stigmatized when they try and speak about mental health. So I think I understand why he was nervous. Like, there's a lot of things working against him that could go wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad it was well receptive. And I have to say, like, I do think the Bravo fans, like the real true fans, not these like casual viewers, and I don't know about the casual viewers because I'm not one, but like us fans, we do take mental health very seriously. Like, it has been something that has gone on for many years, and we have had to change our opinions and look back at old episodes and be like, this is what should have changed. This is how we should have reacted. And so, like, I'm really glad KJ got the support, and I'm glad he feels the love from everyone, because I think it's important.
And I think his was also easy to digest for viewers who maybe aren't as open to discussing mental health at this point.
Agreed.
Because it was like a lot of like slow drip conversations that he had, and really just opening up on like a one-to-one basis with friends, which
you're right.
I think usually we see it in a very like
big
tragic
form.
Capacity, and it's
trauma
just like a lot
comes
to
out.
Consume. Yeah. And so like this was just like a really beautiful, for me, it really like healed a piece of me, because anytime I've opened up about my depression and anxiety to friends, like a lot of times have gotten pushback that it's like too much. People can't handle it. And so then you just like tend to like shut yourself off. And so it was really nice to watch somebody else's friends like handle them with care, listen, and also say every time KJ told someone he wasn't doing great, they verbally said like, come to me if you're like, if you need to talk more, I'm here for you. Like, whatever you need, how do you need? Like, West handled it really well in the season. Like, what works best for you type of conversations. And I just thought it was really beautifully done across the entire
100%
cast that he interacted with it.
And this is like truly, like you said, usually we see it in like a big traumatic form.
Yeah.
This is every day.
Yeah.
We've all been in these situations. We've all had these moments. Maybe not to the severity, maybe not to the quantity that KJ has, but like we've all had this type of anxiety. And like I think it helps show like other people go through this.
A baseline of mental health issues.
And it shows friends how can you receive it properly to help your friend. Anyway, so KJ opens up that in the fall, he went through some heavy stuff mentally and had to go to a hospital for self-harm. He was there for a week. Me and Sierra were there almost every day. He gets really emotional and talks about how he went into recovery, and he was there for a few months to focus on himself. Whole life he's distracted himself and ran away from issues, but he's better now. He's in therapy, he's on medication for BPD, and he's grateful to be alive because he could have not been, and he's thankful for the support of his friends and everyone on this couch or on these couches.
God.
I know, my whole heart.
I just am so grateful that he is here. That's like really hard to think about.
Yeah.
Like how low he was. He deserves the world, and I want him to be okay, and I'm happy that he like sought help and is on medication. Like a diagnosis like that is probably really scary because it's, a whole path of medication and interventions and things like that. Like, but I just want him to know how loved he is, and I hope he has like the best community at his side. And I'm so happy he has like Sierra and Mia. And I'm sure many of the other cast members have been there for him, but specifically Mia and Sierra, like knowing
100%.
that they have like family is huge.
Yeah. And I'm honored he shared this because he didn't have to.
No.
But I think like not only as audience members does this mean a lot that like he chose to be this open with us, because I think Bravo is very receptive to, like, we could tell who's open and who's honest and who's fraudulent.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that. But I also am like, I'm glad he's able to tell people, because I think like when he sees the response he gets, it'll make it easier to be more open about those things. And I want that for him. I want him to know like Bravo is a safe community for him to be himself and to be open about things.
And it better stay that way, because I feel like we can turn on people so quickly. But there's a lot of commentary going around right now on the internet about him and Dara's relationship, and like they unfollowed each other or something. And it's just like, let's leave this man, like, let's let it be. I don't know what's going on. There's like different theories, a lot of conversation on it. And it's like, can we just give him a week off? Like, I know it's fun to like report all this stuff and be on top of it and what's going on and like speculating on everything, but like clearly he has a lot more going on, and so like we don't need to make his relationship status another tornado in his life.
I think yes and no, but then we can't do it for anyone else.
I think this week it's like, just give him a break. Like, we don't need to be like, I find it weird when people like stalk who's following who, because I've seen that he commented that he like she's getting a lot of hate, and so like they just took down their photos, and it's like, how about we like let it rest and we don't have to get to the bottom of this story right now.
I think that's tricky. I get what you're saying, and I like support that, but I think it's tricky because it's like, where's the line?
100%.
When can people start commenting about it? We've done it. I've done it. I think it's nuanced. Yeah, but like, it's
different commenting on a relationship breakup when you like don't know anything else is going on, or like him coming out and sharing all this mental health stuff. It's like, why can't we just uplift him and support him this week instead of like digging into more of his life?
No, I get that. I do think it's nuanced. I don't think we can hold everyone to that standard, because it's like an unfair standard, but I get what you're saying. No, I feel guilty for every time I've done it, but like, Amanda has mental. I comment on people. I see when people aren't following people, and I comment about it.
We're digging into like what's going on, and people are like asking all these questions that there's like nothing, like the only data point is that they unfollowed each other and he hid their photos, and it's like, okay, we have no idea, so like let's stop speculating on these things.
I do think for this week, give KJ room to breathe, but to each their own.
I hope people aren't in his DMs, like asking.
I hope people aren't in his DMs. If you want to make a stupid video and be like, they unfollowed each other, great, fine, whatever. Don't be asking KJ about it. Leave this man alone. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Never DM these fucking people. Leave them alone.
Because like he DMs with us, and it's like, I don't approach him with anything. He approaches us
that
every
we
time.
Stand firm on. Don't contact these people. Don't send hate like on the internet. Leave them the fuck alone. Please God. You know what I mean? But Jesse is very moved by KJ's story. He's happy. KJ is good. He doesn't want anyone to go through that.
I think Jesse has the most intimate thoughts about life and death because of his cancer scare. And so I think that just hits home when anybody has like a battle of any kind where it could be the end. Like, I could see him conceptualizing that on his face, of like the fact that KJ couldn't be here. Like, it's so scary, and you never want that for any of your friends.
Okay, so then Sierra's house in North Carolina. Sierra's mom has taken over the project for house renovations because she loves doing that stuff, and she's in North Carolina, so she's basically the general contractor.
Perfect.
It's really good for Sierra and her mom to do together. Sierra loves her mom and wants to spend as much time with her as she can, and we all know families can be tricky, but like, she wants to create a safe space where like people can come together. Sierra's dad is aware that she's purchased the house, and she feels like he misunderstands her intentions, and she understands that he grew up in that house, but like, so did she. And he can't understand why she would want the house. And then we talk about how Mia was the one that made sure everyone knew what a big deal it was that Sierra bought this house. And Mia says, because it's incredible. And Sierra downplays her success, which Mia cannot stand. And purchasing this house is like a big, big deal. And Sierra gets a comment from a viewer talking about how it's incredible that she's owning capital because there are only 5 generations separated from slavery when Black people were capital. So she should be very proud of herself. And then KJ tells
100%.
Yeah, KJ tells Sierra that he's proud of her and wants his younger sisters to be like her, which that was
God.
the third time I cried in this fucking reunion.
That comment was so beautiful. Also,
It's
shout
so
out to
nice.
Mia. Like, having people who truly celebrate your accomplishments is so rare. I feel like we're not
Agreed.
great at celebrating. I'm going to call them the mundane things, even though they're not. But if it's not a wedding, a baby, you know, something like that, it seems like it's not celebrated. We need to be celebrating educational, financial accomplishments with our friends. Even just I learned a new recipe. Like, everything should be celebrated. Like, leaning into the joy is so needed.
Agreed. And then Andy asked about like how hard it was for Wes to hear about the house and not celebrate. And I said, this shouldn't be about Wes. So I moved on.
I agree. I found it so weird. And also his response was super weird because he was like, yeah, to like not be talked to about it. Why does she need to talk to you about it?
I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't think the question
would he ever be centered in that.
The question shouldn't have been asked.
No.
Okay, why did Sierra soften to Wes at the end of the summer? She said she was tired of she was tired of the energy in the house and she wanted everyone to get along. But it got to the point where she was giving KJ advice that she herself wasn't taking. And she thinks that, like, she didn't want everyone to think that she has this hard exterior and, like, that's it. And she wants to give people chances, but, like, then people fuck her over. So she's tired of that. And so then we talk about Wes and Sierra making out in the backyard and doing ear stuff. And Lindsay cannot conceptualize ear stuff. Because
it's
first,
so weird.
Andy's like, you guys made out. And Wes goes, and did ear stuff. We didn't.
Wait, did he say and do? I swear he just said like, oh, like ear stuff. Like he was trying to
I think
pass
he said,
off.
and ears, we did ear stuff.
I felt like he was trying to pass off like they weren't making out. Like he was just like nibbling on her ear or whatever. Like they were canoodling. And it's like, why do you have to minimize? Why do you have to talk about it this way in any
I didn't take it like that. I think he was trying to like not lighten the mood, but be like, we also did ear stuff.
Be
you know
silly.
what I mean? Yeah, I think he was trying to be like, we don't have to talk about the makeup. We can do ears. Like, I think he was trying to misdirect, which he kind of did, because then everyone goes, what the fuck is ear stuff? Hello? Like, we really didn't even talk about it because he was like, ear stuff, and we went to the opposite side.
Amanda's face during this was like, she cannot handle anybody in front of her talking about Wes and Sierra being like anything. And it's like, if that's your reaction, imagine Sierra's reaction to you.
And Amanda didn't know they were kissing to that extent.
I mean,
awesome. Okay, so Kyle says Wes seems to know what to do to like win people over. And he's like, you know what I mean? Like, he's doing it. And Sierra's like, yeah, it's all bullshit. He used me for the storyline to get back on people's good graces. And Wes and Amanda, well, she says, Wes and Amanda, this feels like the best kind of revenge you could execute. So claps to you. And then Ben chimes in and he's like, all summer, Wes was talking to me about how much he likes Sierra and how he has a crush on her and how like it's magic when they're together. And Wes is like, yeah, but I never said we were gonna date. I just gave Sierra a bunch of compliments and wanted to talk to her all the time and be around her.
You only said that to Ben. You never once said to Sierra, I'm enjoying what we're doing, but I don't want more. And so if you want something more, then we need to cut this off and only be friends. You never ever said that to her.
But the fact that he said it to Ben and still Ben was like, but your actions were saying something totally different. Like, even though Ben heard the words, he still said, but y'all are making out. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, wait a second. Okay, so Mia is like, Wes, I want to ask you an honest question. Did you mean what you said about Sierra, about her being magic and you missing her and all this stuff? And Wes says, yes, their relationship was great. They had chemistry immediately as soon as they started talking. But he said he knew he wasn't going to be what Sierra needed, so he ended it. And after the summer, they had a dinner where Wes told Sierra his plans, that he wasn't going to jump down that rabbit hole again. So he's sitting here and he's like, I did what you guys said last time I should do.
Off camera, he did it.
I did it. I told you guys that last time you told me, tell Sierra. So I did it.
But again, his actions don't back it up. It pisses me off. One, he did that off camera because clearly, like, he didn't want that on camera. He didn't want that conversation.
Want the audience to know.
Yep. And like he was fine if they like kind of knew and like found out about it here at the reunion, but he wanted it to be a footnote in his storyline. Him and Sierra are good. Like they hook up. The audience can ship them together. Yay. He's amazing to us, the audience, again. But then he goes and he says, off camera, I don't want anything, by the way. But like Ben said, his actions don't reflect that, because then Sierra reveals they were still kissing and she spent the night at his place.
They didn't have sex, so he did something right in his mind again. He's like, to which Lindsay was like, can I ask you something? What's stronger, sex or an emotional connection? He goes, emotional. And she goes, thank you.
Yeah.
Good job, you dummy.
It pisses me off because he does know these things, but I can't decide if he knows it and is acting accordingly, or he just kind of like subconsciously knows this, like obviously an emotional connection.
Can I be honest? I think it's like a boy dummy like Tom Schwartz, where he's like, you say buy apple and I buy apple. And so but now you only eat apple. That was
Schwartz. I think Wes is smarter than that. I think he's more manipulative and conniving.
I think he might be, but I think he doesn't get there until like later, if that makes sense. Like, I think in his mind, he's like, oh, last time I got in trouble for not ending things with Sierra before having sex, that's what I'm going to do this time. And then it's after the fact that he's like, oh my God, I executed it perfectly. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I didn't even plan that, but I did it perfectly off camera, and now I'm not going to get in trouble. Like, I don't think he fully thinks it through, because if he did... I think the
off-camera thing he thought through.
Yeah, that part. But I think, like, he doesn't fully think it through because he still gets shit on.
That he could still get in trouble for how far he led Sierra down the path.
Like there's half a brain missing.
Down the path. It's not how far you get. It's the fact that she thinks something's gonna happen.
There's one little like a fourth of his brain is gone, where Schwartz is missing the whole thing. I think there is something with West, though, where he's right.
He registers like a fourth of it. He registers what's way too far.
Yes, you know how Jax on Vanderpump is always like, tell the truth and I won't get in trouble. It's giving that, where he's like, do this and I won't get in trouble. But Jax has the mind. He's smart enough to figure it out, but he doesn't. I feel like that's similar to Wes, where he can get there. He just like doesn't.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's weird. But like, it's weird to explain because like, I can't comprehend
wants to siphon off as much as possible from her. He wants all the enjoyment. He wants all the giggles. He wants to hook up with her.
He wants it.
He would have sex with her as many times. Today, if she were to be like, yeah, let's have sex, I think he would have sex with her. Yeah. He wants to take as much as he can, but he wants zero responsibility from her.
Yeah, I think you're right. He just can't like see down. He sees his previous path, but he can't see his like future path all the way. So he stops like a week later and then is like, we'll be fine. And it's like, no, look like a month into the future and let me know.
He's like, can't own that like his actions would hurt someone.
Yeah, especially because
empathize with that.
The last time you were mad when he didn't do these actions, and now he's doing these actions. So why are you mad? You know, he's like, there's something missing. We're like,
the equation is off in his brain.
Cannot get to C because he can't find, he stopped at B. Like, he can't see further. Yeah. It's so weird. Okay, so Mia's like, if you guys are having sleepovers, like, that's a strong connection. And Wes is like, yeah, but I didn't want to make it, like, romantic or physical. And Andy's like, but as viewers, we saw romance and physicality. Like, what are you talking about?
He's not computing.
And Sierra goes, let's just say you wanted to protect our friendship. This is what you do to friends?
Clock it.
And then Lindsay goes, Wes, you are so fucking good. I caught myself getting pulled back into you. Just like, you're so fucking good at pulling girls and doing whatever you need to do to climb the ladder to get where you need to be, and then you drop them, and you'll do the same thing for to Amanda when it doesn't work out. And Sierra says, maybe they'll be together, because I honestly think that the best woman for West is someone who is not going to check him on anything, and that's totally Amanda. Like, she's very mute. She's going to be the weak figure that he needs, and he can always be the star in the relationship. So I actually think that maybe it could work out. And I went, you're right. They're going to be together forever, these two.
That is the best read I've ever seen on Bravo.
He's going to cheat on her and she's going to stay.
But
because she did with Kyle.
They can't even say he's cheating because they're not actually in a relationship that I know of.
Fine, even if they are, though, she stayed with Kyle and she let Kyle always be the star, which was what Wes wants. Because if you go back 2 reunions ago, he said he didn't just want to be Sierra's puppet, to which Paige said, you would be so lucky. So Wes just wants to be the star, which he would be, because Amanda doesn't care. Amanda also just wants to be taken care of and just 100%. Like be around, you know what I mean?
She just wants to sit on the couch and for somebody to like be the sun.
Be in a relationship. She wants someone to be there.
She wants the comfort and
of not having to date. She doesn't want to be put out on the street.
But the status symbol of like being in a relationship, I think she enjoys that in like society. And yeah, she doesn't give a shit what her partner does to her, and Wes wants to do everything without commentary. It is the perfect union for these two, and for even better for Wes, because he didn't know this was going to happen, but people caught on to her victim narrative that she can't go, oh, poor me, whenever they end this.
I think they're going to... Listen, which I say, if you're going to do it, you might as well get married. At this point, I don't be together forever.
Think, because yes, Wes does want those qualities, but I think he still kind of wants, and this is a you have your cake and eat it too moment, he wants someone spicy and fun like Sierra, like he likes that banter, and I don't think Amanda actually has that. I think she might be cosplaying it right now, but that's not who she is at the end of the day. She's not going to stay out at those NYU bars with him for the next year. She's not going to run away.
Starts nagging. He's going to be pissed.
We've already seen at the start of this reunion, he was like clicking and she was like, don't do that.
Don't do that while you're speaking. Yeah. But Kyle looks at Sierra and says, that was harsh. And Sierra says, that's your wife. She's not my wife. And then Amanda cries and Wes finally shows some support to Amanda. My God, it took this long.
Finally shows some support. He puts his hand on her knee.
My God.
He would not make eye contact with her once this entire reunion.
I love the first time Amanda cries, it's when her feelings are hurt. It's not because she did anything wrong and she feels bad about it.
She would never.
Anyway, let's end on a high note, because last time for the finale, I didn't count everyone, but I did. And I'm really interested to hear your thought process as you guess who was our most fun and most not fun of the season, because I think you might get it, but also I think there's a lot of ways this could go.
I actually don't know.
And the amount of times we fund our top person, we not fund our top person. It was the same amount of times.
Wait, what's the number?
10 times for both.
Wow, that's a big number because there were only 16 episodes.
Well, we do 2, so 32.
Right. Okay.
But also keep in mind, as I was going through, because I was going backwards, the people at the beginning of the season, I was like, wow, it was a totally different show before the scandal. It was a totally different show. Anyway.
It did affect us, yeah. Okay, so I think for fun, Sierra.
You're right. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Honestly,
that one was easy.
For a while, other people were close, like Lindsay and Bailey. Lindsay and Bailey both got 4.
Was a breakout star in fun.
Yeah. Okay, you're not fun. There's 3 ways this could go.
I know. And the top 3 contestants are obviously Kyle, Amanda, and West. And I think it might be Kyle.
It is Kyle. You did really good. Yeah.
He had a bad season. Let's not forget that.
It was Kyle. Both Kyle and Sierra.
Wait, that's actually so fitting to this season.
I will say we fund a lot of people. We fund almost everyone at least once, I would say.
That's
except Kyle on it. No, we funded Kyle. Never mind.
There was one time I definitely gave it to him and I don't think
who's in the cast? Jesse? Wait, let me go down the line.
I think there's 10 of them.
Oh, we never fund Ben.
That, and he didn't ever deserve it.
But we got, Bailey, Lindsay, Mia, they all got, everyone else got it.
Good,
nice.
Good. Wow, we really dispersed it well. And I think that shows, like, how good of a season this was.
Yeah. The not fun really stayed amongst our top 3 there. But
yeah.
How fun. This was, listen, the reunion, I think it's going to get worse. I think this was just the droppings.
Oh, my God.
And we already got a lot of good reads. But, yeah, we'll be back. It feels like that it should have just, in a weird way, it feels like this is like the only reunion and it should just end. Like, it feels weird. We have 2 more.
I'm scared in like a good way of like, oh, that shit's about to hit the fan.
The best part about the Vanderpump Rules scandal one was Raquel didn't come until part 2. We had no idea what was going to happen. We knew. It felt like we were waiting for something. This is Here's
the thing.
I don't know.
Here's what I'm holding out for, because people are like, oh, in the leaked audio, we heard Amanda say, and like there was going to be a video that was going to be released, and that's why we released our statement. That has to be coming. There's no way they're not going to put the audio sections that were leaked. They kind of have to. Like, we know them.
Well, that's my thing. What else we have to discuss, obviously, Amanda and Kyle's divorce, but like,
Correct.
What else in the scandal is there really to discuss besides that video?
It's everything with the rest of the season. Like, Lindsay and Carl's friendship, we get to discuss, and like their final conversation. Ben and Sabrina's relationship, we'll still have to discuss. But
do you
like,
think this is like the worst of the scandal?
No. Oh God, no.
Or you think it's just every time Amanda speaks, Sierra's going to be like viscerally?
Well, because when they drop that, like, oh, there was a leaked audio, that's when I hope the cast is like, I thought you didn't fuck until after the statement. And if you had to release the statement because there was a intimate video, then what were you doing on the alleged video?
There's something very like exhausting about this reunion. I loved it, don't get me wrong, but I'm like way more exhausted than I was during the Vanderpump one.
It's that it always gets sidetracked. Yeah. Because you couldn't have Sheena and Raquel out there at the same time. Like, yes, we got some snippets,
had structure.
like at Sandoval. Yeah, like we were able to get through the actual season.
This we're not gonna have structure.
No, because even when we are talking about somebody else, they literally pan to Wes and Amanda to shade them.
It was awesome. Okay, well, we'll be back for 2 more fucking reunions. We'll see. But yeah, do all the things I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. And with that, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.